now today.
Yes, folks, this is the moment. Thank you for coming here. This is the Unbox Me Today show. This is Coach Raja. And as always, don't fake it till you make it. Believe it and become it. And you know what? I appreciate all of you for being here. You get a ring of the victory bell. And you know who else is great? My next guest. And let me tell you all about him. The most amazing guy ever. His name is Mr. Andrew Quebbemann. And yeah, of course, you had to pick a hard name for me to say. He's committed to his project of educating and providing financial literacy to all. A Wisconsin native, Andrew lives with his wife in Southern California with their corgi colt on the weekends. He spent the last 2 years volunteering his time teaching young kids the game of ice hockey. Beautifully said. Now, why did you? Now, so without any further delay, please welcome the one, the only, super talented, super handsome, the guy who walked to school uphill both ways in the snow, the one and only Andrew Quebbemann. Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Great to be here, Raja. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's my pleasure. And if you want to have pleasure too, click the link down below so that you can leave comments on the live as well. So let's dive right in. So, Andrew, really interesting stuff. You talked about, there's no shame in a dollar. So like, why? But this story really starts a lot sooner, where you actually cut off your communication with your parents. So why did you stop talking to your parents? What happened?
Yeah. So that was, it's a situation. I don't think I'm alone in dealing with it, but throughout, our childhood, nothing to be concerned about, nothing to be worried about. On paper, it was the most wonderful child that you could ask for, great schools, everything like that. It kind of transitioned as we went in, my brother and I, we went into our 20s.
Yeah.
And we all of a sudden started to get into this cycle where we'd get together and then something would have to be fixed afterwards. And then we'd have to get together and something would have to be fixed afterwards. Someone said something, someone did something. Who knows? But it was always kind of this constant defensive battle. And, it just was a situation where everyone was feeling like they were misunderstood.
Right.
It's not really the best feeling that you want to have as a family. You want always to have them in your corner. You want to feel like you're understood and supported. And when stuff goes wrong, you want them to just listen, really, for the most part. And it kind of came to a head when we had a family holiday. We had Thanksgiving, and just everything went sideways.
Yeah. What happened?
And so it was
kind of holidays coming up, and lots of fun antics happening soon this holiday season, and we're going to host Christmas at our house, so that's going to be fun for the first time since the pandemic.
Yeah,
so,
that's great. So I hope your Christmas goes better than our Thanksgiving did.
Oh yeah, what happened?
And well, it's just like I said, it was a situation where it was my wife, my brother's ex-wife, and the two of us and our parents, and it just, I don't understand. Like, it just was a constant miscommunication. And since I had kind of felt like every time on the phone, we tried to explain what was going on and what was happening, I wrote everything down because I never felt like I was getting through on the phone. And so I sent an email. And, I said, like, this is my stance. This is where I'm going to hold my line. We need to address things as a family to come together. And that led to a response from my parents. A couple of days later, I got a phone call. It was so gnarly to listen to. I actually had to put the phone down in my lap.
Oh. Hmm.
And I won't repeat what was all said because I don't know that
Okay.
I'll be great for television, but
Okay.
or maybe it is for that reason.
Let's keep it PG. Yeah, all right. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm not onboarding this energy. I can't do this. So I actually put the phone down on my lap. I don't really know what was all said myself. I know what it
Hmm.
started as, and I could hear the volume, coming through. Still, waited till they were all done because I'm like, there's in this situation, there is no change in anyone's mind or coming to terms. And that started a 3-month break as like a trial to like have everyone cool down.
Hmm.
And we came back from that. We tried to get together. But I was put in a position where I was the counselor, I was the
Yeah.
brother, and I was the son, all in the same
Yeah.
conversation.
Right.
And it wasn't working. And so I said, hey, I would really like if we would have a family therapist come just mediate, just because we're all still feeling wholly misunderstood in this whole process.
Mhm.
And I said, I can't wear all these hats.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That was the end. That
Right.
was the non sequitur, the non starter. We haven't talked now in almost 3 years.
Wow. So life definitely takes a left turn sometimes. And I know that like we've all go through struggles and trauma. So learning from what you experienced, how did you apply those lessons to your life? And now you pivoted into helping others. How did that sort of transform?
Yeah, in terms of transformation,
Hmm.
I think it had started even before that because I feel like in our own ways, my brother is in a obviously very different career from mine, but understanding coming to the assistance of others is very prominent in both of our career choices.
Hmm.
And so I think because we felt like maybe going back for now a number of years before we even realized it, we weren't understood, we weren't heard.
Right.
It was all a very transactional relationship.
Right.
And so as a result, when I apply that to my personal life and my business life, I try very hard not to have that transactional relationship. I want to make sure that you are understood in all cases, that you're heard, that you feel supported, and that
Hmm.
your ideas are validated so that we can move forward in whatever the relationship might look like.
I love
So
it. I love it. Thanks. Hmm.
that's the big application there.
So now, how did you start to do financial coaching? Because now what you're doing is you're basically helping people to understand the relationship with money, with success. And so, how did you pivot into that? And tell us, like, you know, can you give us like an example of a success story we're working with a client, like without, of course, sharing their names,
Yeah.
but tell us like what you do, how their life changed as a result of it.
Yeah. I accidentally fell into the financial world.
Yeah.
Or if you believe it, manifestation really came to the fore in a big way.
I think it does.
So the year that I had was in this transition from I was in the biotech and pharma manufacturing world before this.
Uh-huh.
And that year I had said every year I do what I'm grateful for the year before. And
Yep.
then I do 5 or 6 things that I wanted to accomplish for then the next year. I do that in January every year.
Hmm.
And I wrote down, I want to learn more about personal finance.
Yeah.
I had felt that my own education and at the time I had hired a financial advisor. So I had someone in my life, but I didn't feel like I understood what he was doing, why he was doing it. I didn't understand like maybe what I could be doing better. And so I wrote that down. And then all of a sudden in August,
Yeah.
someone approached me and said, hey, I think you'd be really good at this. And so the more I looked into it, the more that it made sense. I loved the entrepreneurial aspect of it. I loved the way that I got to be home. I loved the
Yep.
way that I got to have a larger impact on my community because my wife is a scientist. I felt like I was very far removed from the actual interaction where people got healthier.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
And
Hmm.
so I that felt kind of a distant impact there.
Gotcha.
So
Oh,
I,
love
so I
that.
transitioned in. And I'm happy I did. I found where I want to be for the next 30 years. And a story that kind of illustrates the true awesome power of what we do. I met with a client. She's a wonderful person. Really enjoy working with her. And we had talked about some things. We had met initially with her husband.
Yep.
And we said, okay, this is the path that we're on. You're coming to me at the right time. We're not quite at the retirement picture that you had wanted, that you're hoping to achieve. So we're going to have to make some adjustments along the way, but we can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, I think it was 2 months only.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She gives me a call and says, Dad died.
Oh, heartbreaking.
And I knew her father, and
Yeah.
it wasn't expected. It came out of nowhere. Life throws you curveballs.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me and she said, Andrew, as I'm going through this, I don't know anything of my dad's plan. I don't know his passwords. I don't know where he keeps his files. Like I talked to him once. I said, did he share anything with you? And I said, no. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I can help, but some of this, unfortunately, you're going to have to figure out on your own. And the last question she asked before that conversation was over, she said, did Dad, change his life insurance? He had life insurance policy where I was working at the time.
Yeah.
And I said, no. And I said, I will get that going for you, and we're going to get that to you. So, fast forward a little bit, so I'm helping them through this process where they're trying to grieve emotionally. They're trying to do all of the things, because when when someone dies in your family, especially unexpectedly, there's a lot of the to-do list gets surprisingly long.
Yes, it does. I know. We've lost a lot of people this year. This has been one of those weird years. We've lost 6 people in my family this year. And so it's been rough. So that list of everything from the funeral to planning things and cleaning out the house, there's a lot. I mean, we've lost my mom and uncle, and both mother-in-laws. We're looking for, thankfully my dad's still here. We just, last week, I celebrated my dad's 81st birthday.
Yeah.
And, God bless, he's still with us. And, we're going to keep him as long as we can. Another 20 years at least, I hope.
Yeah.
But life changes when you lose someone. And, so Andrew, we got to shift over to the next section now. Amazing stuff. And, we want to hear a little bit more about how you help others. And so down below, you can see also Andrew's gift link here. It is a office form. So you just fill that out. And then what do they get when they click on that, Andrew?
Yeah. So, like I said, I work in the financial services industry, especially with Gold Book Financial. And as a professional in that realm, we have to be a little bit careful about what we say and do publicly.
Right.
Right. And this is just a general disclaimer for your audience. If anyone in a financial services position says, we'll give you something or we'll guarantee a result or something like that, be cautious. There's a lot of bad actors in my world, and unfortunately that happens. So what they get the opportunity. We're gonna stay in touch. My thing with everyone is all about being heart to heart, and so I can sign you up for some newsletters. But really, for right now, it's a stay in touch. It's a way for us, if you think you might need me now or sometime in the future. We just want to maintain that contact. Like I promise all my clients, I want to have relationships for the next 30 years, and I want to get you the information that you are looking for.
Perfect. There you go. All right, folks, there it is. So click that link down below. Make sure you connect with them so that you can start to plan your finances for the future and for next generations as well. And if you're having value right now, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. And so that way we know that you're getting some impact, and leave some comments down below. And if you're live, you thrive, and on the replay, you get to play again. So please tell us what you thought and what was your biggest takeaway. So, Andrew, we're going to shift the gears into what I call the speed dating segment, because people join a person, not a business, so we want to get to know you as a person. So just short, sweet sentences, like, where did you grow up? How did you grow up?
Heartland, Wisconsin, and grew up at really pretty much on an ice rink.
Did you? Nice, nice. So every time I think of Wisconsin, I think Green Bay, and of course, I think Wisconsin University. Is that the one where everybody's wearing the cheese hats at the
Yes.
football games? Yep.
Cheese heads were a big deal in Wisconsin for sure.
Excellent. What about growing up? Was there a favorite movie or a book that shaped the way you think today?
Favorite movie was Black Hawk Down.
Mm-hmm.
And then favorite book, The Count of Monte Cristo. I found that in high school, actually. And I thought that was a really cool story.
Cool. I remember Black Hawk Down years ago. Oh my God, great story. And I think there was Channing Tatum in there. But my gosh, if you've not seen it, definitely go watch it. It's a great, great movie. And it really tells a great story about these soldiers that crash, and then they have to basically survive for the 48 hours and see what happens to them, and just what it's really all about. What about now that you've got into like the financial side of things, like, is there a favorite mentor or favorite quote that helps kind of guide you going forward?
Yeah, I think my favorite quote right now is from a gentleman called Sadhguru. He's an Indian mystic.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
The quote is, "People only think other people die."
Oh
And it's a little heavy,
yeah.
but it's a reminder to live in the moment, and then that we only have what we have in front of us. So seize it.
Gotcha. Yeah. It reminds me of another quote, and I don't know who said it, but everybody dies, but not everybody lives, and I don't know who said that, but definitely think about that going forward.
Yeah.
And so and this is right in alignment with that, is like, everybody thinks everybody else dies, but if you're dying inside, it's the same thing. It's like you haven't lived a life
Mhm.
worth sharing and following. So
Yeah.
definitely do the things that are in alignment with what you want to do with your life, and keep on going. Now, what about? I always find this fun. Like, what about what's your favorite kind of music? What kind of really like jams you up to jam?
Lincoln Park is definitely my favorite band.
Oh yes.
So I'm a student or an appreciative listener of a lot of the, I guess I think they're technically called new metal, but a lot of the bands that came out of like late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the guys that get me going.
Gotcha. I love it. What about so now favorite kind of food? I always find this is fun.
Man, I just had an amazing meal at Din Tai Fung here in San Diego. So
Oh really? Okay.
I'm gonna have to say dumplings and Asian fare that way.
Oh nice,
it's
nice.
incredible,
I like it. Okay.
incredible place.
So actually, coincidentally, I'm on first name basis with the owner of a Dente Fund. Hello. Yeah, hi. We need a pallet of the entire buffet in the green room stat. All right, thanks so much. So totally real call. You are now set up in the green room with a whole ton of food. Save me some dumplings. And before we switch over to our next segment, I want to ask you, what's something that you want people to recall about you?
So, I think what's most important to me, for whatever it is, I want to have a positive impact on your life. And so,
Yeah.
Like I said before, understanding and making sure that you're heard is a big part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I think there are a lot of really amazing, amazing people in this world, this community that we have around us. The people are out there. And so, that's what I'm trying to build, personally, professionally, is just keep that good feeling going, the good vibes going.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Andrew. We're going to shift over to our next segment. So while he is in the green room enjoying all that lovely food, man, not fair. Like, I'm hungry too. I want to ask you, if you want to make some changes in your life, you don't just make waves. Start with a giant splash.
When you throw a rock into a lake, what happens? No, there's a splash. You make an impact, and then you get waves. And then you don't know where those waves are going. Those waves are going past around the reeds, and you don't know where that impact is. So all of you out there, when you're on stage, you don't know where your impact is going to end. It's never going to end.
All right, folks. So in today's segment, we talked about shifting and creating that new mindset. And earlier on, you heard Andrew talking about people always only think that other people die. And I got to ask you something. You know, when we think about we go to school, we go to college, we go to a corporate job or some sort of work, and then, you know, or some people go into trade, some people find other work to do, and you work for 50 years, it seems, and then you're done, and then you retire, and then what? So it seems like we keep repeating this same pattern because that's what our parents told us. And instead of that, a lot of us don't get a chance to live and to really share our passion for life. Maybe you love to sing, maybe you love dance, maybe you love to play football, maybe you love soccer, maybe you love playing video games, maybe you like digital animation like my son. And you know, there are so many great things that people can do that are not work related, but that are super valuable, translatable skills that you can connect others with, and you can bill for, and you can charge, you can make a career out of it. Andrew found a new path. He lived a life in biotech and pharma. Now he's helping people on the financial sector. Myself, I've been a cancer scientist over 25 years, and now I'm helping people with Victory Mindset Academy, creating that new black belt mind shift, and helping managers in pharma and associations, you know, find that hidden ROI with invisible disabilities, which I really now call invisible superpowers. And if I can do it, why can't you? So don't hesitate. Don't wait for that pivot. Start to change the way you think, and you will find that success is right around the corner for you. So let's bring Andrew back. Andrew, welcome back. How was the food? Did you save me any?
No, I didn't. It was delicious.
Oh. That's okay. Like, I'll just make it the phone call. So Andrew, what was your biggest takeaway from that 60-second mind shift, and what would you add to it?
I think you're absolutely right. That anything is possible. You know, if you can do what you did. I jumped careers. I think today is the day to do it, and everyone does have the power to shift their mindset.
I love it. I love it. Beautifully said. So now, I want to ask you a request. You know, before we head out here, you know, if someone gave you a blank check with unlimited resources, what is your grand vision to change the world?
I think my grand vision would entail really just a campaign to kind of get rid of bad and good. I think that's a mindset that inevitably puts you at odds with eventually someone else. Whereas if you look at it from the standpoint that is what I do better for me and for everyone else around me. And if that's the case, then, you know, I think we'd all appreciate, you know, a lot more of our surroundings.
Gotcha. I love it. All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. You've been amazing. Let's share the banner one more time. Make sure you grab it. There's the link. Make sure you connect with them and find out, like, get an analysis with what you're doing. And, you know, are you really in line to create a financial future for your family, for your friends, for your future generations? Start the journey now. There it is down below. All right. And we're at the end of our time. Thank you so much, folks. And as always, this is Coach Raja. Don't fake it till you make it. Instead, believe it and become it. And we'll see everybody on the next show. Bye-bye. All right. Great job, Andrew. We got 3 questions for you, and we're out of here. You know, first thing I want to make sure, if you guys want to create a mind shift, make sure you click this link down below where we have our once weekly mastermind group, and there's your chance to join us. It's a paid group, but for 30 days you get it for free. So check it out. And Andrew, what was your why did you want to come onto this show today? What do you want to share?
Well, as far as why I wanted to be on this show, Raj, I love your vision, what you're trying to create. It's really great to see that people like you are out there trying to impact and grow your community, and that's why I want to be here. Is, you know, I want to also help teach people how to leverage themselves to grow beyond what they thought was possible.
You got it. I love that.
You do it from a mindset standpoint.
Mhm.
I do it from a dollar standpoint. But it's all related, and all can be.
Oh, it certainly is.
Made towards a brighter future.
And you know, what was your biggest takeaway from the show today?
My biggest takeaway is, I think, really that sharing your story, sharing your light with the world. It can seem a little scary, and your platform maybe not be Raj's podcast. It might be something else. But you know, again, build your community and share your story, and you know, you might be helping someone out with, you know, in ways that you didn't think that you were doing that. So
absolutely, I love that. And last question, would you recommend me to somebody else's stage?
Absolutely.
Nice.
You never know what you're going to get with Raja, but it's always going to be good.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Podcast crew knows what to do, and great job today, folks.